Viewers, Jeff from McPhee's Gardening here. I'm from southeastern suburbs of Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Now today's video is a practical video of mowing a lawn. A new customer, I'm going to go through the process of how I quoted it, how I upsold some products with the job, and the actual demonstration of mowing using our equipment. So firstly, we'll have a look around the property. Corner block, and it's a front lawn only. So as you can see, hasn't been mowed for about 6 weeks. Now when I quoted it, I asked the customer, I said, have you been guys doing it? They said, no, we've had a contractor, and what happened, he hasn't rolled up, and as a consequence we got some long grass. He's been unreliable. I do get bell warnings when I hear that, because I don't know whether the customer's been a bad payer or whether it was the contractor. I believe the customer in this case, because they seem quite decent people. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to mow, we're going to edge, and if you come around to the front, you'll see the grass is pretty long, but it's not too bad, it's not too thick. Now when I did the quote, I had to take a few things into consideration. The Chinese elms are going to produce a lot of leaf drop in the autumn, so that's going to make it a pretty difficult job in the autumn time. So I'm going to tell the client we'll need to add some extra onto that, because it's going to take a bit of raking up, etc. But it's just a basic corner block, edge and mow. Now whilst I was quoting, I was looking around and I thought, well, there's plenty of upsell here. As you'll see at the front door here, we've got lomandras that need cutting back. We've got the hedges over here. Hedges over here we can see. We've got some hedges at the front door. So there's quite a bit of work there to do. So we've scheduled that in as well. The customer's quite happy with the quote. And you'll see, if you look up the driveway here, up here, you'll see it's overhanging, and that's when I first alerted the customer that we needed some extra work, because they're going to get a letter from the council being overhung. So we'll do a video of pruning at a later stage. Alrighty, and we're going to use, as I mentioned in previous videos, as a contractor, the most important piece of machinery when you're first starting is an edger. We're going to use an atom edger. This is actually going to cut the edge. Now, I could do that with a whippersnipper, but I'm going to take twice as long, 3 times as long. So I always recommend using an edger. It's so easy to use, it's so mobile, the manoeuvrability is great. Now when I'm performing these tasks, what I want to do is only touch the equipment once. So I'll only use the edger once, I'll only use the whippersnipper once, I'll only use the mower once. The only thing I'll use twice will be the blower, because once I've edged, blowing all the leaves out onto the lawn, edged with a whippersnipper, I'll then blow it back on and then mow and then blow again. So the first one we're going to use is the edges, so we'll demonstrate that in a minute, and cut. Okay, now when you're doing lawns, always think about starting from a spot and finishing at a spot. So I'm going to edge right down, right round, right back, and right back up to here. So I'm not double handling, I'm not going over my footsteps twice. That's another philosophy. Only touch the equipment once, and try not to walk back at the same time as you've been before. So it'll be a straight down, straight across, straight back. So that'll be our edging. Is to keep the blade just off the concrete, just hitting it slightly. So That's a consistent line, and it really looks good when it's finished. You can do it with a whippersnipper, but not as good as with an edger. All right, so we're finished with the edger. We're putting that back. And viewers, I'm very, very sorry. I forgot to put the earmuffs on. Always wear earmuffs. I think when you're doing a video and you're trying to work, it's there's a lot of effort. Now, whippersnipper, like using a battery one. A lot of guys use petrol. Husqvarna, equal to 25cc whippersnipper. Speedhead, the philosophy of using whippersnipper. Well, what you've got to do is learn different ways to edge. Most important thing is to keep the head vertical, and when we're whippersnipping, we only want to use the tip of the line. We don't want to dig. We don't want to dig a gutter. We want to use pinstripes. So techniques are, I like to walk forward. So the first technique would be to walk forward. Or the other technique, walking forward, if I got caught out, that's the two ways I do it. Other contractors, they'll walk backwards, which is pulling the dirt away out of the groove. Quite effective, but you're walking backwards. Me being old, I trip over. And of course, we can go that way as well. Alrighty, so we'll film, okay, cut. Alright, now what we're going to do, as with all things, we're going to work our way around to the property, around the outside, and back to the ute, keeping our time short. Whippersnipper, we're only going to use it once. We're going to start it up, and then that's it. Not putting it back on and going backwards and forwards. So think about all what you've got to get done. But first off, we've got the fence line there. Now we're just going to clean that up a bit, and then we're going to spray that. When you whippersnip, always go anti-clockwise, because it's spinning around, it's pulling everything away and throwing it back onto the mowed area. So we're spinning around, mowing the back area. Alrighty, let's give it a go. Alright guys, I've got a battery operated blower, Husqvarna, very powerful, really easy to use. Press the button, blow the skin off a rice pudding, really good to use. So, alright, let's get this. If you follow me over here, the other reason why the quote was a little bit dear the first time, have a look when I was doing the quote, gum trees. Gum trees produce this, lots of leaves. Now, in our quote, I'm going to blow all that out onto the grass areas and mow them up. There's nothing worse than you've got a lovely clean lawn and you've got dirty garden beds. So that's another reason why I charge that 3 times, because I have to spend a bit extra time. Okay. Alright guys, the last bit of the project of course is to mow the lawns. I use a Contractor, a 21-inch self-propelled. Do yourselves a favour and get a self-propelled as soon as you can afford it, because I mean many years thinking, no, I don't need a self-propelled. You've got to have a self-propelled. I'll tell you what, it's really hard work pushing your mower, especially when you're up to my era. Alright, so get this thing up. Now again, what we're going to do here, we're going to mow, we're going to go right round, we're going to come back and I'll place the bed probably halfway down. So I'll be emptying the catcher at the end of the run, going right back, right round. So when I finish, all the grass will be mowed and I'll be back there. So I'll do the nature strips first and run around the front wall. Once we finish that, blow it. Okay. Well viewers, there we have it, a job that took about an hour. We charged, I mentioned 180, I meant to say it was 150 because it's 2 and a bit times the cut. Fair bit of work involved. Now as you see, it's very hard to do video and mowing at the same time, but you get the general idea of keeping the distances as short as possible by not mowing the same area twice or whippersnipping or edging. Just try to make them long strokes with the mower and whippersnipper and make the job more efficient. Now the other thing I'd like to mention too is the upsell. I've noticed the grass is pretty wild type of grass, so we'll be recommending to the customer that come springtime we'll spray out all the weeds and probably top dress and add a little bit of summer grasses to it. Also the Chinese elms, if you have a look over here, very low. We need to take the canopy up so that I don't hit my head. Another little upsell. As I say, all these pitostriums all need pruning back. If you have a look over here, all these lamandras, they need all cutting back. We might even suggest planting out a bit of colour around the garden because there's not much colour at all. As I say, they're the Chinese elms. In the autumn time, there'll be a couple of extra visits at extra cost because there's going to be a lot of leaves Now, of course, once you've had deciduous leaves, of course, the spouting. There's another upsell there. There's a $400 or $500 job there that we can pick up. So from a $60 mow plus GST, it's going to end up in many thousands for the year when you consider all the upselling. So what I'm trying to get to you guys is upsell, upsell, upsell. Very important. All right, well, thanks for watching, and sorry it's a bit long-winded. If you have a look at my edges down here, you'll see looks pretty splish. Customers very, very impressed. They said they never had edges like that before because previous guys have only used a whippersnipper. So I reckon an edger is a must. Now, I've been using an edger from day one, and 35 years to now, I'm still using an edger. I just think it's so much easier, does such a professional job. And as you can see with the ute, not hard to pick up and put down, very easy. Alrighty, so I'll go and send the invoice off to the customer, and they promised me they'll pay me tonight, so that's quite good. And we'll move on to the next job, and thanks for sharing ideas, and don't forget to subscribe. You want to keep this channel going. If I can get some more subscribers and more interest, we'll bump up their content and the quality as well. So let's get some more subscribers, guys. But I appreciate the ones that have, and I really appreciate your comments too, good, bad or otherwise. But we all learn from each other. It's probably geared at the beginning of this video. I mean, the old timers will have their own ways to mow and whippersnip, and you might not get much out of it. Mainly for the young guys or the new starters, the old guys that are starting. I think that's important just to see how someone else does it. We all do it differently, and have a look at as many videos as you can. Although I couldn't find too many of an actual demonstration of mowing a lawn to this extent, and I reckon we need a few more out there. Right, viewers, until next time, I'll see you later. Thank you, bye. Okay, now grandson number 2 is Jessie. I remembered this last video we did, I forgot your name, didn't I?
Yeah.
No, and thank you again for Jessie. It was a really good effort to do the filming. And what do you think about the whole thing?
I thought, at the start, I thought I did a really bad job, but at the end, I was like really happy about
Well, what happened?
myself.
You forgot to turn the video on, did you?
Yeah, I forgot to do that stuff, and I didn't know how to start it on, but then
You got it going
I got it good, and then
you did a good
so
job.
happy, and I feel like you've done this like a lot of times.
Obviously, boys. Grandpa always does a good job in your eyes, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
I know. I appreciate your help, mate. Thank you so much. All right. Well, we'll call that a wrap, and we'll get you to help me on the next video.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Action. Jake. I'd like to tell everybody I've had my 2 grandsons doing the filming. As you can imagine, with all the shots that we had in this video, I couldn't possibly do it on my own. So, Jake, how did you go filming? What do you reckon about the whole thing?
I reckon you did a really good job at doing all the work, and I think it's going to be a good video.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a thing that newcomers can learn a little bit from it. As I say, I'd like to see a lot more other videos on the same thing. So, but yeah, I really appreciate your help, Mel, mate. It's been good. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.